Does the economy make any sense to you right now? On one hand, we're told it's slowing down, that people are struggling. On the other, the stock market is booming. And to make it even more confusing, the US government announced what looked like a massive 3.8% GDP growth. But what if I told you that number is a statistical illusion? A quirk in import data artificially inflated it by over 5%. If you ignore that noise, the economy actually shrank. It's in a recession. The same illusion is happening right now in the watch market. Prices for top Rolex models are recovering, leading some people to believe the whole market might be healthy. It's not, it's a trap. And the reason why was laid out in a secret report from one of the world's biggest banks almost 20 years ago. To see past the illusion, we have to look at the data, not just Rolex, but the entire market sliced by price. This is the performance of the watch market. Look at this. It's a story of two completely different worlds. Watches under $2,000, down, down, down. This is the real economy. It's weak because its customers are getting squeezed. But the high end, stable or even rising a tad. The $20,000 to $100,000 segment is still strong. This isn't a recovery, it's a divergence, a great split. So what's causing this split? For the answer, we turn to that secret report. In 2005, analysts at Citigroup wrote a private memo for their wealthiest clients. They identified a new type of economy, one powered by and for the rich. They called it the Plutonomy. Their advice was simple: invest in companies that sell to the rich because soon they'll be the only consumers that matter. That prediction has come true. Here's how it works. First, concentrated consumption. The top 10% of households now account for half of all spending. The bottom 60%, that's over 200 million people, are now a rounding error. The economy has become indifferent to their financial health. Second, devalued labor. The link between work and prosperity is broken. For 40 years, worker productivity has doubled, but wages are flat. Technology has de-skilled millions of jobs, making workers replaceable. And third, the engine of it all, hoarded investment. The top 10% own over 93% of the stock market. So when the S&P 500 hits an all-time high, it's a massive cash injection for the tiny slice of the population. And that cash needs a place to go. So let's bring it all back to the watches on our wrists. The market for watches under $2,000 is tied to wages. It's weak because wages are stagnant and its customers are struggling. This is the market of the 90%. But the market for a Rolex, a Patek, maybe even an AP, that's the Plutonomy market. It's become completely decoupled. It's not fueled by salary, it's fueled by stock portfolios. The rising Rolex index isn't a sign of a healthy watch industry. No one thinks that. It's a sign that the Plutonomy's asset bubble is inflating and watches have become another chip on the casino table. So we've established the high-end watch market is floating on an asset bubble created by the Plutonomy. The most important question for any collector is, can it last? As an economist, my analysis is clear. No. This two-tier system is fundamentally unsustainable, and it is exposed to two fatal long-term risks. Risk number one, economic fragility. The entire luxury market is now balanced on the head of a pin. History has taught us that major stock market corrections are not a matter of if, but when. When the next one comes, the wealth effect that's pumping up Rolex prices for now will evaporate. Watches as a liquid asset will be one of the first things sold off to cover losses. The higher they've flown on this bubble, the harder and faster they will fall. Risk number two, political gravity. No society can sustain this level of inequality forever. Eventually, the 90% who have been left behind will use their political power, their votes, to demand change. This could mean higher capital gains taxes, new wealth taxes, or crackdowns on speculative assets. It won't take a revolution, just a modest policy shift that makes it slightly less profitable to be super rich could be enough to cool the speculative fever. When that happens, the Plutonomy premium on assets like Rolex will once again vanish. The era of watches as a high-flying investment class is over. It's been over, and it may look like it's coming back, but it's not. They revert to being what they once were, luxury goods, not financial instruments. So knowing this endgame is coming, how should you think about your collection? This isn't financial advice, but here's the strategic framework I would use. First, acknowledge the bubble. Stop thinking of your Rolex secondary market value as permanent. You are riding an asset bubble fueled by a temporary and unstable economic structure. Its current price is not its true value, it's the value under the Plutonomy. Second, define your time horizon. If you're a short-term trader, you're making a bet when this bubble will pop. It's a high-stakes game at a casino. If you're a long-term collector, buying a watch to enjoy for 20 years, you must assume its monetary value will be significantly lower, or at best, stagnant once the market rebalances. Buy it because you love the watch, not because you love the price trend. And third, the flight to true rarity. When the bubble deflates, liquidity-driven hype will disappear. What will be left? True undeniable rarity and horological significance. A standard production steel Rolex might suffer, but a genuinely rare, limited, or historically important piece from any brand will have a much better chance of holding its value, as it appeals to connoisseurs, not just investors. The Rolex illusion is tempting. It makes us feel like our passion is also a brilliant financial decision. But the data shows it's a symptom of a fragile, top-heavy economy that cannot last forever. Understanding that is the key to making smarter decisions and protecting yourself. So, if you value this kind of unsponsored long-term analysis that you won't find anywhere else in the watch space, the best way to support this channel is to subscribe. Let's keep building this community of informed collectors, and see you in the next video.